Hey girls, Maria Menounos here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for the real world. Tonight's host is DJ Jesse Janity. Joining Jesse will be AfterBuzz co-hosts Ian Kaiser Soze and Emily Harbert. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest real-world news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, DJ Jesse Janity.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janity sitting here next to Miss Emily Harbert.
Hi.
My MTV Real World Reality bestie here.
Yes.
Of course, we've been doing the Real World for the whole season while they were in Las Vegas, and we were so in love with it.
We have a little bit of a hangover.
Yes. So, but technically, this is not the real world, and Ian Kaiser will not be with us tonight.
This is the challenge.
Yes,
Rivals, which
dum.
Quick backstory to how they came, how MTV came up with this idea. Was another podcast plus Bill Simmons. He's a writer for ESPN.com, and he does a mailbag, and he loves pop culture, and he has a guy he has a reality czar, and he loves the real world. They call the challenge the fifth American professional sport.
That's awesome.
And anyways, so a reader suggested Real World Road Rules Challenge frenemies, and then him and his friend Dave Jacoby talked about it on their podcast, and they were like, this is a brilliant idea, and like these guys have had TJ on their show, and so MTV took that and made it Rivals.
Interesting.
So podcasts can have an effect on actual shows,
and we sure do. Here at AfterBuzz.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, let's just get into this right now. First of all, TJ has been the host of these challenges since the beginning, right?
No, it was no. There's been actually 5 hosts, Johnny,
yes,
Mosley, who is Olympic mogul skier. Who's actually commentating in the Vancouver Olympics. I was like, isn't that guy from Real World Road Rules Challenge?
He's moving
up.
up.
It was pretty crazy. There've all been BMX extreme sports guys.
Who was the one right before this, actually? Because now I'm thinking about it. Because when TJ started doing it, he annoyed me. I didn't like him.
He's definitely
but he's grown.
He's and I heard an interview with him, and he was saying him and the producers kind of decided. He asked the producers if he could put in more, have more say or commentate more, and they were like, "Yeah, go for it, do it." And so I like that side of him.
I did, yeah. No, I like the familiar, coming into it, being familiar with the host, and it's his thing, and I like how he's such a smart-ass still.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've never really seen any of the other hosts they'll get their little things in once in a while, but he was really like their father, Adam had to go and punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
I like that. But yeah, this whole season.
Well, apparently what he said too is every morning he gets a email of what happened in the house that night.
Really?
So, or the night before. So if there's a lot of tension, if it's like a challenge day, like he knows how much tension there is, like who it's between, like how far to push them, like, or pester them. So yeah, he knows everything that's going on.
That's an awesome job.
Yeah.
I want that job.
I know. How cool. I want that email.
I want that. Yeah. We need that email sent to here after this. That would be really amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So this season, the whole thing is they brought all these people from. This is the first time Emily said that there's no road rules people coming into this, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, road rules doesn't exist anymore.
So we have people from Real World and other past challenges.
And Fresh Meat.
Was it just Fresh Meat?
And Spring Break Challenge Camila, which I had never seen, but
yeah, that's very interesting. Coming into this, and there's been so much drama in these challenges and in the real world alone that they decided to pair everybody up with their worst enemy, and they sure enough sure did.
Yeah, great. Once again, MTV pulled out all the stops when it came to casting. It's like, the funny thing is MTV has gotten a lot of flack lately, whether it's like for not playing music videos, and truthfully, like their ratings have gone down in the past, but what they've stayed true to and they're still so amazing at is casting.
Oh,
it's like they can cast a show better than anybody.
I mean, let's just cancel Teen Wolf and put some music videos on.
Exactly. Anyways,
let's get into who we had on the show. We had first team was Adam King and CT from Real World Paris. These guys have been arguing with each other. This type of the arguments that they get into is similar to Mike and Dustin. Adam's smart, CT's that douche, and that's why Adam doesn't get along with him, and they've been going back and forth since Paris. I know they were in the Gauntlet 3, and then everything really started hitting off with them during the Duel Challenge 2.
Yeah, and they were both wearing onesies and punched each other in the face. And yeah, they had a onesie pajama party, and they were both sent home. And
I gotta give Adam credit to punch CT.
Yeah, that takes some guts, because CT's an animal.
Not only is he just big, but like he just has that animalistic quality, and those are the people you gotta watch out for.
Yeah. But we did see a softer side of CT.
Well, we'll get into that a little later.
Okay.
Because I don't know about that,
okay.
And neither does somebody else in the house. Next, we had the team we were rooting for, or at least I was, Adam and Leroy, of course, from the Real World Vegas. We were rooting
for Leroy, not for Adam.
Well, you know what though? Going into it, I had to root for both of them, because if you don't root for Adam, Adam is supposed to be Leroy's right-hand man in this. So I was kind of rooting for both of them. And I was actually really impressed, except Adam dropped the ball.
Here's the thing. I think we expected that Adam in a house like this, like as Maria said when we were talking about the reunion show, they're not allowed to, it's like the Real World's house times 1,000, because they're not allowed to leave, and there's so much alcohol flowing. It's so crazy. And what we were talking about too is how much Adam loves the attention. And you could see the way I looked at, or we want to talk about this now, or should we move on to teams? Okay, we'll just go through the teams.
Because I have a lot to say about that situation. Okay. Next, we had Anissa and Robin, who they weren't in the same Real World together, but they were in
the Duel.
The Duel Challenge. And I couldn't remember exactly why they were fighting. I mean, I know Anissa is just a hated person on all of these challenges.
She really is.
And I mean, I know Anissa personally, and I actually know her through like drama between people.
Really?
Yes, and like she's a messy girl.
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
That's what you're trying to say.
But she's messy. Like she just doesn't care. I don't think she honestly cares about herself.
Like whenever you see her, she's a hot mess.
Yeah.
But not hot, just a mess.
And surrounded by just like 5 gay guys, and thinks she's a queen, and it's just like,
God,
go someplace with that, please. But yeah, so I do remember actually this. They were in the Duel, and Robin. She was drunk, and I remember she kept like talking about Anissa's sexuality, and Anissa was getting upset. And it's like, well, why are you getting upset about your sexuality? You are a lesbian.
Okay, yeah.
I know at that time she was saying she was bisexual. No. But the thing is, Robin knows you outside of what you're portraying on TV.
Yeah.
So she knows you're a lesbian.
Yeah, and here's the thing. From past challenges, we've known when Robin's drunk, Robin's always been, and from the world, she's always an emotional drunk.
Yes, she is.
She's an emotional drunk.
I used to like Robin. Like, I really liked
I loved
her.
Robin. Was she? She was San Diego.
Yeah.
What was she? San Diego.
She came to my school, and I don't know.
She has
like,
a baby
I really
now.
Like her. Yeah, I don't like that she has a baby.
I found it weird when they like have families and they still come onto the challenge.
Yeah.
That's
and then
weird.
I feel like they try to make a story out of the fact she's like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna win this money for my baby. And like,
Yeah, no.
we don't need that.
Yeah, no, I would not leave my baby for a month.
To
Sorry.
join the challenge. Brandon and Ty, very interesting. Now, see, let's see where Ty. Where's Ty from? Because I remember
Ty is from Denver.
Okay, because I remember Ty, but I do not remember Brandon's fresh meat. I wasn't into the fresh meat challenges. However, I do like Brandon.
I do like Brandon. Brandon, I felt so because Brandon, last challenge on Cutthroat was put in the gulag every week. Like they just never gave him a chance. So I hope he does well. But
so was Ty his teammate?
They were on. I don't know if they were on the same team. There was 3 teams. They faced off in a gulag, which Brandon won. But Ty is like, he kind of has some Adam in him. He just gets drunk and violent.
He's a smarter Adam.
Yeah, that's true. He is.
He knows.
He actually in Denver like had a pretty cute relationship with Emily, and you kind of were rooting for. Was it Emily? Yeah, it was Emily, and she was like the only one who knew how to destroy him.
Okay.
Or not destroy him, like calm him down.
Calm him down. Yeah. Next we had Camila and Teresa. Now I know you have
Camila and Teresa. They were like, Camila was kind of the hot. Nobody knew Camila because she was from the spring break challenge, which was like a week thing. And she won, and I had never seen it before. But there was like a whole thing about Wes and Kenny, and they were both kind of like hitting on Wes and Kenny, and they were both like the hot girls, the hot new girls, and they kind of just got in this huge fight
over Ty's sweatpants.
And it just like got into a whole huge thing that was bad.
Now then we had Davis and Tyree. Now they were from the real world Denver, and their drama was Tyree wasn't comfortable with Davis being a gay, and then he became comfortable with it, and Davis was drunk one night and was just getting up in Tyree's face and felt like he was privileged in the sense to be like, you should like me and all this.
And said some racial.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was slurs, but.
And it was like you sat there and, got upset because he felt uncomfortable over you being gay, which he accepted after the fact, and then you went and made racial slurs to him. So that's going to be an interesting little.
And then there's Cara, Maria, and Laurel.
Yeah, see, I don't remember Cara, Maria.
That was all last challenge, and Laurel's obviously very competitive, and she's pretty much one of the best athletes, the best female athlete in the group, and when Cara Maria started hooking up with Abram, who was their like team leader, and she was pretty much just pissed off that she wasn't going in the gulag. She was getting a free ride because Abram would never vote her in, and so I don't think it was a jealousy. She just didn't think she was good enough.
Yeah,
and
see, I wish that they got into this on the show. That's the
I think like, it was.
They put all these guys together, and it's like they just expected you to know why they were rivals.
I feel as if like, especially with the challenge, it's very like.
There's so many.
They have, but it's like a solid base, especially after this many years. It's not like somebody's just gonna randomly start watching the challenge.
Well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm that person. I don't like. There's certain ones that I don't watch. Like the fresh meat one to me was stupid. It was like I don't want to just see random people who got chosen to be.
I don't like
fresh
meat, but
so I don't know really too many of the fresh meat people. I like the real world ones because it's like
they have a past,
the past drama, and they're being brought into this. Evan and Nehemiah. This is just basic. I mean, to wrap this up really quickly, Evan and Nehemiah is just a bottle of testosterone on both sides, and
from
it's just
Evelyn
going
and Paula,
to explode.
Evelyn and Paula was pretty much just. It actually wasn't. It wasn't as much as like Evelyn and Paula's fault as it was Johnny and Kenny, because Paula had an alliance with them, and then Evelyn double crossed. Paula was double crossed.
Right, it was all
in the
over
island.
A challenge.
Yeah, it was over a challenge, and so Evelyn got to win, and Paula's never won. And then they faced off each other in the fresh meat, and Evelyn won, which pissed Paula off because she's never won in like 7 challenges, which sucks.
Well, we'll get into that, but she won tonight, so go Paula.
Yeah.
Jasmine and Jonah.
Janae
from Cancun. No one really cares.
It was a love triangle.
Yeah.
Jen and Mandy. That was like a hot girl fight. That was like
I love Jen. I love
Jen with 2 N's, and I love Mandy too.
I do love Mandy. After this
Mandy's
episode,
like
I love Mandy.
Yeah. I think they're like, and Jen. Okay, we'll talk about that. Johnny and Tyler. That was, I think, just going against each other multiple times. They were always going against each other.
Another testosterone fight.
Yeah.
Which actually funny because CT also has something with Johnny as well. So
yeah,
it's the triangles that they're throwing in here are really interesting. And then Caitlin and Sarah, did you know about this one? Because I really wasn't. Well, because who's from Fresh Meat Challenge?
No, they were both in Brooklyn, and they were friends in Brooklyn, and then they both went on Fresh Meat, and they like stabbed each other in the back.
And they were boring this episode too.
Yeah.
But Kenny and Wes,
they're the big one.
Yeah,
they're the big one. Like
epic. We've watched them through how many challenges?
Yeah. But what I didn't know, apparently, Kenny had something with Johanna.
Yeah.
After Wes, they were obviously like really serious. They were like engaged.
That was really big, actually. Yeah. Another team I would have thought would be interesting was Wes and CT, just because of their attitude problems.
Yeah, but I think the past few years, Kenny and Wes, it was perfect.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
let's get into what happened. I mean, first place is going to get $100,000. Second place $50,000, and then this year
third place
nothing. You get nothing.
That sucks.
Which is they usually give something for third place. So yeah, I loved at the beginning of this, you had Wes and Nehemiah who are sitting in the kitchen with Leroy and Adam. And Wes is sitting there trying to manipulate Adam. Just like,
and
this
he's like,
kid's
this
a
is
douche.
so easy. Like, rookies are the easiest. And then Leroy's like, fuck you.
Yeah. No. You're not doing this. Get out of here. Like,
yeah.
And Adam is that kid. He's just that kid that you're just dumb. You're just going to listen because you're going to look up to me. Oh, he has muscles. He's big. He's going to win it. And Leroy didn't buy it.
Look how that turned out for Adam.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about CT in this situation. CT, I gotta say, at the beginning, he squashed the beef with Adam.
I like that he came to, and he mentioned that his brother was murdered.
Right.
Which so we saw a kind of sweeter, lighter side to him. We saw him with Mandy kind of being flirtatious.
But AfterBuzz TV exclusive, our very own Keven Undergaro.
AfterBuzz
I was like, where is that, Phil?
Keven Undergaro, he knows a lot of these guys from this because, our Maria Menounos
does the
reunion shows. He's not a big CT fan, and he actually brought up the fact that CT's brother had died.
Yeah. And,
he said you would think with something that serious, you would become more of a genuine person or a more forgiving person. And he, within Keven, he hasn't seen that change.
Okay.
And it's interesting because we saw it at the beginning of the episode, but then Kenny mentioned, CT's just playing these guys. He's making it seem like buddy, and one day he's going to snap. And that's what CT's known for. Because did you watch Paris?
No, I watched it, but it was so long ago.
To try to remember.
It was
in Paris. CT was my favorite at first.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was just like awesome, attractive, and just really a cool guy. And he just gets into these modes where he snaps, and it's just like Adam. It's like you want to root for them, but then it's just disgusting how they...
The thing is, though, I can't stand Kenny. Whenever it was between like Kenny and Wes, Wes annoys me, but like all of Wes's ideas and theories, like strategies, were so much smarter than Kenny. Like all of Kenny's thing was, I'm hot, I'm amazing, and I'm gonna get everybody to follow me. Kenny's an idiot. He really is an idiot. So I don't trust Kenny at all.
Yeah.
I don't trust his opinions. I don't trust his anything.
Exactly. But I mean, Wes has that too, but you kind of just
did you see
Wes.
Wes's like glassy eyes in that scene?
No.
His eyes were like it was like the final scene. It was like, I don't know, whatever.
Maybe he was sad. So TJ sends them a message saying that they have their first challenge at, what was it, like 6 or 7 in the morning?
6 a.m., yeah.
6 a.m. in the morning. Imagine waking up 6 o'clock in the morning and then being told you have to
you have to be ready at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay. That's like full on waking up at 5. Especially with these girls, because these girls have like full on hair and makeup.
Well, I wouldn't think for a challenge.
No, but like they're wearing makeup and then they have their hair. Like they do, they don't have it done, but they look cute.
Right. So their first challenge is that it's called the high dive, and they have to jump off a waterfall platform and basically clear these red hash marks as quickly as possible. The girls were being eliminated tonight, so this was really big for them.
I don't know if I like that, because usually what they do, they have a guy team being eliminated and a girl team being eliminated.
Well, it would kind of almost be like The Voice in the fact of they would end the show so quickly.
That's true.
Because you can't get rid of one person from each team. It has to be a full team.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
good call.
The guys that win this get, $2,000, $1,000 for each player. And I was really surprised with the people with this challenge. We had Jen and Mandy. They started off. They were the first ones to jump. They got 12 marks. That was impressive. And then everyone started DQing.
All the girls started DQing, right?
No, not all the girls. Because even I couldn't even write half of them down. But Nehemiah and Evan, that was a really surprising one. Because Nehemiah is very aggressive when it comes to challenges. Even Evan too. So
yeah.
Anissa and Robin.
Evan is one of those guys though who kind of like rides the alliances.
Yeah,
he kind of like he like makes friends and he makes those alliances and he's solid.
So Anissa and Robin, they got 13 marks. What is it? Joanna and Jasmine. Jonah.
No, it's Janae.
Janae and Jasmine also 13 marks.
Yeah.
Sarah and Caitlin 13 marks, and Camila and Teresa only 10 marks. Now. For the girls, elimination was Evelyn and Paula lost, so they were going automatically into the jungle.
Which was shocking because Evelyn and Paula are like the challenge veterans.
Well, Evelyn is.
But Paula's done like 7.
But she always loses.
Yeah, but she always becomes like really close.
Right. Oh, yeah, true. Now with this whole situation, Anissa and Robin got put into the jungle later.
It was weird. It's kind of like a different kind of thing this year because usually we're used to trim the fat where they just send in all the weakest people.
So Camila and Teresa technically should have been in there with only jumping 10 marks. And or maybe another it's something a little deeper because everyone was really quick to put Anissa and Robin in.
Or because it was because they wanted Evelyn and Paula gone because they knew they were the strongest girls team. And it just happened to be that they like DQ'd on accident. It was easy to DQ in a challenge like this, I think. It doesn't have anything to do with
physical. You're focused on jumping. You're not really focused on the red mark. Yeah.
So, I think they wanted which is why they wanted to throw Laurel and Cara Maria in.
Now it's funny because it was Anissa and Robin for the girls team, and Jonah and Jasmine were the winners. Janae and Jasmine,
rookies once again,
were winners. So Anissa and Robin came in second place. So technically, even though I think the girls, they said we want to get rid of the good team, I think it was just like, let's put our two best teams in there, and one of them's going to go home, and hey, forget it. That works to everyone's advantage.
Also, Robin got up and made that like really weird speech that it was like she tried to like prove her point, but then just didn't.
Yeah, Anissa definitely should have stepped up and said something because that was too much.
And here's the thing. Once Robin... After they chose them, once Robin was like crying, I was like, okay, they're going home. Because that's the number one things with like this is now like the jungle or the gulag or the gauntlet or whatever it is. You have to go in emotionally ready.
Yeah.
And I could just tell she was so not emotionally in it.
Now, as far as the guys go, we had... who jumped the furthest was Adam and Leroy.
Shocker.
They got 15 marks.
Well, they both. So did CT and Adam.
CT and Adam did,
and
as well.
It was the timing.
Yeah, Adam and Leroy were quicker. Which go them! I was so excited for them.
I was excited for the rookies because usually it's like every year it's like, okay, send the rookies in. Like, sorry. But I like that it's like last place automatically goes in. Because usually it's like you just throw in whoever.
Well, to me, it's like, how are they rookies? Like, the only one who are really rookies is Adam and Leroy because they've never done challenges.
And Janae and Jasmine.
Okay, yeah, because they were from Real World. Okay.
Yeah.
But nobody was really picking on them. Everyone was kind of picking on Adam and Leroy, making jokes and whatnot. So I was really happy that Adam and Leroy did that. Also just because we watched the season, we just got finished with it, and Leroy's our boy, and we want him to do well.
Except I hate Adam with a burning passion.
I mean,
he has no future.
Well, we're going to talk about Adam when we get to his little situation. But let's go back to the Robin and Anissa thing. Basically, Anissa was on the bus and I don't know how she saw Laurel in front of her, like writing and...
I think she saw, I think she was also talking to Teresa. But here's the thing, like, Laurel in that way, it's smart about it. It's like she gets on the bus and she's trying to figure it out. Like, Anissa is kind of like, bitch, like, I can screw you over, like, like, she just, like, Anissa kind of just thinks she's the shit.
And then the awkwardness was Caitlin, when she walked in on the room.
That was weird.
And she was, like, laughing, like, I'm waiting in the bullshit. Yeah. I'm waiting in it.
Here's what I thought they were just going to do, like, a crazy ass twist and have them all band together and just throw Caitlin in after her being just such a bitch.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
That would have been
loved
amazing.
That. Dumb girls. Yeah, so Robin and Anissa basically, although I gotta say, the way Anissa called everything out during the meeting when Robin was like, Anissa, can you please take over from here?
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like, I hate the bullshit. I hate the whispering. We all know what happens. Like, I liked that part. I liked that, she called that out because it was just like, when Laurel said to her, Laurel tried to hide the fact that she was doing anything at first. And then she was like, okay, I was just counting. I wasn't really like plotting anything. I was just all that stuff is just put it to the side. We know what this is. It's a challenge and you're trying to get her off. Be real. Say it to her face. Who cares? It's just Anissa. All right, so now we get into the party, and this is what I was just waiting for because they took so long with the challenges and stuff. I want to see the drama. I want to see the toga parties. I'm getting trashed, all that.
And the onesie parties.
Yeah, so Tyree and Jasmine were flirting and making out, and Jasmine has a boyfriend, which is interesting. It's like...
Jasmine, that happened...
I wonder if it was the same boyfriend.
I don't know if she had a boyfriend. on Cancun.
No, yeah, remember she had a boyfriend and
No, Janae had a boyfriend.
Had the boyfriend.
But Jasmine was always like boy crazy, and that's the reason that Jasmine and Janae hate each other, was because Janae is really exotically pretty. I find Janae, she's gorgeous, and so Janae would kind of like steal any guy, or so it's all out of jealousy. And like me and Jesse will watch this clip of like what had happened, one of the things that had happened between Janae and Jasmine went like effing insane when she was drunk, like just crazy ass shit.
I would never even have taken that seriously.
Yeah.
If I was in that house, I would have just
they were laughing.
Yeah.
They were like, you're a crazy bitch.
Like, are you mad? That doesn't even look mad right now, but whatever type of... that was really crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was cray.
Yeah.
Like,
That was cray.
Three of those. That was cray. Not even two. No, she doesn't even get those. She added a third one to that. And Tyree, like...
Tyree is gross. Who was it? Was it Kenny or was it?
Kenny
was like,
said it.
Tyree's gross.
He looks like he smells like corn chips.
Like, he still leaves with his sneakers on. He goes, "You're gonna wake up smelling like bacon in the morning."
Yeah, just dirty, but whatever, girl. You get what you have to do.
Yeah, do what you have to do.
The drama starts here.
Wait, by the way, can we talk about quickly Jen sitting on Adam's lap?
It was Adam. Oh, Adam Royer. Yeah,
Adam Royer, and somebody had said, it was like Bill, and they were talking about it. They're like, Jen is totally the one who would like hook up with one of the young guys. She always like hooks up with like one of the rookies.
She reminds me of Mila Kunis a little.
Okay, she's nowhere as pretty as Mila Kunis.
Nowhere near as pretty. But they have the same eyes.
I can kind of, yeah.
Those
she
bug
is.
eyes. And of course, Adam's gonna like look.
We were expecting Adam to go crazy.
Yeah. And he sure did.
He sure did.
So tonight, Ty starts picking on people, and apparently he has this. He's been doing this for years, and he just goes crazy. And
I think, like, first of all,
I hate that type of stuff. It was
here's
just
the
too
thing.
much.
I hate that type of stuff, but at the same time, first of all, you can tell that it's like kind of his strategy, but here's the thing too. I feel because none of them really hate Ty. I feel as if none of them like really hate it. They're used to it, or maybe when he's out of the challenge environment, he's not like this.
Right.
So they're kind of like, they kind of deal with it. They're kind of like, okay, whatever.
And it's interesting because I just don't like that he does it to the girls.
Yeah, like he said,
it was
Laurel,
a lot, which almost made me feel like maybe he's gay. In that sense of it, because he was really like going in on the girls. He was pushing one of them, and I was like, what?
He would like wrestle with Emily.
Yeah, like it was a lot. I don't know. That's just really bothered me.
He's very, but it was weird because the whole thing with Adam was like he stuck up for Laurel. That's how it started, which I was like, okay, Adam, that's one redeeming quality.
Whoa, no,
I was like,
Adam did it because
he didn't have the attention on him.
Right. Not that, and the fact that he wants to be this ladies' man and get
that's
all the
true.
girls, and he's gonna stick up and be that one that sticks up. Now they may all get along with Ty or not hate him, but I thought it was interesting that Brandon pulled him away and said everyone is trying to rile you up.
Yeah.
Like they know what buttons to push on you because you're pushing their buttons. And then that's where Adam started getting upset, and Adam went nuts. Like, and it was just like, again, with that just like childish little kid.
It's like, I don't have the attention on me. I'm just going to go crazy.
I love how someone called him out on his gangster face.
He's
like so serious. He's like with his upper lip pouting and I'm going to get you. I'm going to punch you in the face. And I'm so mad at you. And I'm a big man. And
it's like,
first of all, Ty's body is amazing,
unbelievable,
and he could probably kill you with his like.
Yeah, why would if there's
fingers.
One person
with his ring finger
never want to fight? And it's like even Leroy said to him like, "This is gonna get you killed." Like,
well,
this is the stuff that like is gonna get you killed. Like
luckily you're on TV and you
Yeah.
know no one here is trying to that. And it's funny because Ty wasn't even trying to fight him.
yeah,
He was literally just pushing his buttons.
yeah.
And it's like, now who do we say was similar to Adam? Who do we say gets hot-headed like Adam does?
CT. Didn't you say CT?
Not CT. Oh my goodness. Shoot. All right, we'll get back to that. But basically, Adam goes nuts, and it's like you said, he had to prove himself because he got punked in front of everybody. So he went bonkers, and he pushed Mandy out of the way. He wasn't paying attention to anything.
That pissed me off.
And,
When he like threw Mandy.
threw the fake punch at Ty. That was
Yeah.
on top of it. It just, I don't even know. Maybe it was CT that we said that about.
Adam's just like, it's so true. It's like a fame whore. And here's the thing. After that showing, that's your first challenge, after the first night, and you pull that shit.
And he wasn't even drunk. That's what gets me the most.
He wasn't drunk?
No, he was not drunk. And go back to the real world. When Adam would get drunk, like,
Yeah.
you could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his face. He laughed a lot. He caused a lot of like, Adam would have
Yeah.
been right up there with Ty and laughing
Yeah,
at him, making
that's
fun
true.
of him. He was so like awkwardly serious, and it was just
Yeah.
like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Really?
I liked Leroy trying to fight off Ty, though.
I would love to have seen. And there was a point where I thought Ty would, because Ty kind of got a little like, held back a little bit, but I almost wanted Leroy to get upset to a point of like, no, dog, sit
yeah.
down. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to see something like that because that just would have been amazing, to put that type of fear into Ty,
Yeah.
especially from a rookie's perspective.
Well, I think they all have respect for Leroy.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
after winning the challenge, like it's kind of different this year. It's not okay. Rookie is going. So
I
Leroy
thought it was
has
also interesting
respect.
how many people had already seen the real world, Vegas, in this.
Had they?
Well,
Oh
we
yeah,
saw in the,
we saw an clip online where they mentioned Mike was
they knew who
saying
Nene
all of
was and-
yeah, they knew who Nani was. Mike was saying
Yeah.
all of his first impressions of everything. And what I was surprised,
or maybe they watch him there actually.
well, here's the thing. I was thinking it's something that has been brought up about the Jersey Shore
As far as
like they're watching this past season, they were watching the Miami episodes while they were there because it's like that's how the tension started with the letter. Like it had been like 2 months after, but that's
Right.
how they start the tension is by seeing what everybody sees.
And I mean, they're in the house, they're not doing anything. It's
Exactly.
like,
So maybe
and also because later when we see Mike come in, everybody made the comments of, Leroy's telling us about Mike,
Yeah.
and then he came in, and then in this online exclusive, it was like
they thought but
some of them had already seen.
yeah,
the
some of them were like, "Oh, Mike, we thought Mike was going to be this like big badass like guy." The thing is with Mike, I mean, we'll talk about this in predictions about Mike.
Okay. So yeah, Mandy got pushed to the ground. They had an ambulance come. She was okay,
She
and
was fine.
CT came to the rescue. This is kind of a cute little.
It's a cute little relationship. I kind of
Couple.
like it.
Um,
I like Mandy.
the way they got rid of Adam, I guess Adam is just such a
I'm
douche
happy
that-
they didn't kick off Leroy,
No, me too. I
That
was
would have been
really
really-
worried about that.
and they teased it very well.
And I thought even if I feel like Leroy knew he wasn't getting kicked off
Yeah,
because when he went in the room with Adam afterwards,
yeah,
he was like really taking
Yeah,
it like, man, this is the stuff I'm telling you about.
yeah.
Like,
He wasn't pissed off.
No.
I think he was kind of happy.
Yeah.
And what I was thinking, though, that they were going to do is have, like, obviously, back to all, like, MTV casting, they're really good at putting people together with clashing personalities. Like, I feel as if they have personality, like, people, like, personality experts. I felt that they were going to put someone there who they knew was going to clash with Leroy.
Yeah, but that would kind of go against what the idea of the rivals, because they the only reason I would have been okay with Leroy being kicked off is if they brought in Dustin and Mike. That would have been
unbelievable.
On so many levels, just because Dustin's so competitive. Imagine him with Kenny and Wes.
Oh my God, Dustin would be so perfect. I don't know why Dustin.
I think CT would. I think Mike would have had a heart attack though.
Yeah.
During the whole thing. So yeah, we have. So Mike comes in and Leroy's excited because that's going to be his partner. And at the same time, I can sort of see how this can be accepted. Mike is not physically. Capable of these challenges,
smart.
But he is smart. But these are very physical challenges.
But by the way, actually, maybe they're trying to see if Mike and Leroy's friendship will last. But when we talked to Leroy,
he was wearing his bracelet.
He was wearing his bracelet, so.
And he wasn't lying because he took a picture of himself doing the interview, and he has his bracelet on. So all right, guys.
But by the way, a lot of people are friends after these but in that house, like, things
and we'll get
go
into
down.
predictions because it was something that MTV, the way they edited it, maybe, but I don't know. So then we get to the jungle challenge, which was the hands-on challenge, and basically it's this platform where Paula, Evelyn, and Anissa and Robin had to stand on and hold each other's hands, and TJ was going to separate them, and the first one in the mud loses. This is just a bad strategy as far as Anissa and Robin. Like, it was good at first.
The thing, I can see there really is, like, physics-wise, there's no, like, every strategy has its cons. Like, if you're pushing like against each other, like if you're pushing the same, like, equal force, like that's when you could be top heavy and you can slip under. Or I can kind of get how they thought
the pulling back, but then it gets too much and so that's why I got, it was teamwork with Evelyn and Paula, and they were really just steady. That's what it was. They were steady. Well, they were steady, and then, at first they were pushing, and then all of a sudden she was like, okay, stand up a little bit.
Yeah.
They worked together.
Yeah.
And Robin and Anissa, it was like you should have started pulled out and then pushed together. And they had the advantage because their body sizes are similar versus the other two.
But I thought it was, the thing is with Paula and Evelyn, like, they had no, like, emotion in it. Do you know what? There was no distress. It was very, like, Robin's crying. Like, Robin doesn't even know if she wants to win.
Right.
Like, these two girls, like, they were gonna win, they were gonna compete.
I also thought MTV did an interesting choice as far as the editing with this situation because they said, oh, Anissa and Robin looked like they had a better grip on each other.
Yeah.
And both you and me looked at each other and we were like, the other two looked like they were perfectly still. And I think MTV, it's funny, if you ever watch wrestling or any type of fake fighting on TV, you can always tell who's going to win.
By the opposite of what they...
Whoever's, like, winning at the beginning.
Yeah, always.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I could totally see that.
And MTV totally edited that and played to that. And
you can, if you analyze it well enough, you can totally tell who's going to win.
Exactly. So, yeah, Paul and Evelyn win the challenge.
Which I was happy about.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, that basically brought us to the end of the episode. The only extra thing that we saw was, like, those online exclusives. Because Michael came in late, they had this clip of him
doing the first impressions.
And it was weird. Which is funny because there were only a few people there.
There was only, I guess they were just hanging out. And one of the things that was weird, we see all these things about, like, how smart Mike is and how, but when he was talking about the girls, he only talked about their looks.
Yeah.
He was like, Jen, her tatas. Teresa, you remind me of Nani. Like, you're gorgeous like Nani. Like,
oh, you weren't here last week. Last week we had our very own Alex Kaplan come in.
Yeah.
and she was telling us that one of her friends goes to the same school as Michael. And
University of Maryland.
Yes, and before he came on the show, he was always known as like a little ladies' man.
Really?
Like a little...
before he went on Real World.
Yes. So, you know, like she always said, like one of those little smart douches to the girls and whatnot, which showed even in the real world with him. I just think when he went into the real world, he was like, I'm not sleeping with any of the roommates.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how he gained that like dorky kind of vibe. But
and it was kind of like he kind of also made everybody feel bad for him in the way that it was like we kind of knew none of the roommates were going to sleep with him.
Yeah. And I also said I think he played that character because it's like if you're in college, you can act however you want because your mother, nobody's going to find out. But on TV, he lives with his grandmother. His grandmother would see how he acts. He wanted to look like the church.
But by the way, it kind of makes you understand the Leroy-Michael friendship more.
Exactly.
Because Leroy's obvious, as much as we love him, he's obviously a player and a very big ladies' man. So it makes a little more sense now.
I mean, overall, it was
I'm really excited for this season.
It was a good first episode. I could have had a little more towards the beginning, but I understand. You know,
you need to introduce it.
But this season looked crazy. We're gonna get a lot of fights.
A lot of fights.
And I'm just loving it. So
we'll get into. I think we're gonna have a big predictions.
Yeah. So we're gonna head over to a commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna give you a rundown of our predictions for the season.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
That hate each other becomes your only teammate. There's so much tension, you can cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
Will change.
This is Rivals.
If you're not afraid to bleed for some money, what the are you doing here?
You tell me what being scared is, all right?
Get off of me, all of you!
This is the craziest group of people I've ever seen. Get me out of there!
Are you done? Now it's my turn.
The Challenge Rivals. Season premiere Wednesday, June 22nd.
And that basically, every sound you heard in that was, basically how the episode went down tonight.
But, okay, so first of all, let's start with CT predictions.
Okay.
It seemed, except for one scene with Adam, it seems like his main beef in this season is with Wes. And that, I think, shows a lot about that Kenny and Wes are going to make up. And we heard that from Keven.
Well, CT and Wes, that's why I don't get why they weren't together, because they always get in fights.
I think it was just like but Kenny and Wes, it was like they were the ones. Mm-hmm. And it was like they even waited last to like introduce them as a team.
Right.
Like they were, but I think, I mean, when we were talking to Keven Undergaro, our wonderful producer, he was saying how like a lot of the teams, like they want to win so bad, especially Kenny and Wes, that they were like, okay, we'll make up for this time and we can work together. And I think Kenny and Wes are definitely one of those.
Oh, I do too, because winning is
teams.
so important to them. I mean, as far as everybody overall, I mean, how far do you think Michael and Leroy are really going to get? I mean, it depends on the challenges, because tonight's challenge was a different type of challenge.
Here's the thing. I mean, you said as soon as Michael came on, you said like he is gonna go crazy because all these guys in the house are like these dumbass douchebags, and he obviously has an elitist quality to him that he's gonna go in thinking he's the shit, and you can't go into that place thinking you're better than anybody, especially with CT and Kenny and Wes and Evan. You can't.
You can act like that with Adam because Adam is just that type of a douche, and he's not really gonna. He's a dog that won't bite back.
Yeah.
But CT is a pit bull.
Yeah.
And he will. But it's funny because even in the previews we saw
Michael
flipping out. And the way they did it, they made it look like it was at Leroy. I don't believe it was at Leroy at all. Leroy. I don't know. Who do you think could push his buttons like that?
I think any of these guys could push his buttons. I think Kenny, Wes, any of the guys could. I think, you know who could? Johnny Bananas could really push his buttons. Johnny Bananas, PSU, Penn State.
He does have that douche quality to him.
Shows what all the guys at Penn State are like. Repping it. Good.
What else did we see? We saw, CT. We saw CT West. They got into that.
Yeah, they're getting a lot. Some full on. We're gonna get some makeout sessions. Obvi.
Yeah, I mean, this is just gonna be filled with sex and fighting. So if you're into either,
it's like the thing is too. Like Maria was saying, they're not allowed to go anywhere. Like I remember you were saying, like, can they walk? She goes, nope. Can they do it? Nope. Can't do any. So what would you do? Like
and
hook up
but
and
they
fight.
picked the hottest people from. Usually you watch like the Real World and there'll be like one or two some people that are hot, and then the challenges it's like 1, 2.
There's like the two hot girls,
or like already together with somebody. This is like they're all
like,
single.
As they were walking in, it was like craziest group of people they've ever seen, which is so true. Perfect casting.
Yeah, I mean Leroy's gonna get all these girls pregnant.
What team are you kind of like excited to see the most?
Well, as far as like, what do you mean excited? Like, who am I rooting for?
Rooting for and like to see how it turns out, like how they work with each other.
Obviously Michael and Leroy. Brandon and Ty. I'm actually really interested.
I'm excited to see Adam and CT. How that comes together. I'm excited to see how, because we saw CT.
Fan, that's the thing.
We saw CT freak out in the previews, so I'm excited to see that journey. What happens there? What makes him freak out? I'm excited to see what happens with him and Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see. I can't remember. Was Jen really into the challenge?
Yeah.
She's really competitive.
Yeah,
right?
Jen's like challenge veteran. Like,
so her and Mandy,
really.
that'll be interesting.
But like the thing is too, like she was already like taking care of Mandy. I think they could win it all. I think it's.
Oh no, I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be the three girls. It's gonna come.
I think Evelyn and Paula are really gonna surprise us.
I think Evelyn and Paula will either Evelyn and Paula and Jen and Mandy.
I think Caitlin and Sarah are gonna be gone soon.
Yeah. It'll be because also in Fresh Meat, I think it was, Mandy, they would do the exiles where they would have to, what they would do is they would go through like the woods and have to do puzzles on the way. Yeah. And Mandy was yelling at Wes to keep on going.
Oh, yes.
Like Mandy's tough.
Okay.
Mandy,
I just was kind of, she was drunk. She didn't really expect to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
I guess that. I'm also excited. I'm kind of, all right. You know who I'm probably most interested in watching is Evan and Nehemiah, actually. Only reason is because I don't really know what their drama was.
What their drama is.
But
and
I
we've
know
seen
that they're
there's
both
a lot.
very competitive and they're both, Evan's more of the smart, strategic one. Nehemiah is more,
What is Evan from?
Evan is from...
Oh, Evan's Fresh Meat.
Is he?
Evan was the original Fresh Meat with Evelyn.
Okay.
Yeah, Evelyn was Fresh Meat
Yeah,
too.
I'm excited to see them just because, even we see Nehemiah says, when I'm on the team with the biggest bitch.
Yeah, that... If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be as excited. But
I wish we saw previews for what next episode was going to be rather than the whole season.
By the way, these challenges look really intense, like very like
jumping off of
like
things,
by the way, like I
falling.
like they were interviewing TJ, and I liked when there was always that like spelling bee or like there was always like the really random ass like funny challenges, which I kind of miss.
Well, no, I'm sure they'll have that, but this looks really like extreme.
The puzzles are always fun.
But I mean, even today they jumped off the waterfall and slammed into the rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What papers are you guys signing?
Petrified of heights. I would have.
Ridiculous.
They definitely sign a death and injury.
Imagine if we saw like a death on this show. Like that would be crazy. We almost got a real world baby. Maybe we're gonna get like a real world death. Oh, amazing.
A challenge death. They always have an ambulance in every.
I gotta say, tonight's episode reminded me so much of the Bad Girls Club with the ambulance coming up. That's such a Bad Girls Club. Oh my goodness.
I like that it's like, the thing is, though, with this cast that I'm happy, though, there's not like a Siobhan, like where it's just like, I am like full of drama and don't really care about winning. So I like that.
No, absolutely.
Everybody wants to win.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Well, so that's basically the episode, guys, and what we have for predicted for this season. I'm excited for next week, and we're going to hopefully have some more people here in studio with us. I won't give away any surprises of who the other AfterBuzz hosts are. But yeah.
Quick. I just got a tweet that says, according to Dustin, he didn't want to do the challenge. And the whole thing with Kenny and Wes. She said, and I agree with you, Kenny sucks. The whole thing with Wes is fake. Interesting.
Is this
Thank you, the steamer.
All right. Well, fake. That's really interesting. All right, well, we'll talk about that next week, guys. Until then, peace out.
From producers Keven Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.